Fellas, are you still powdering your balls? You know you don't need to, right? If you want to keep your fellas feeling cool and dry all day and reduce chafing, then you need to get yourself the Crop Preserver. The 24-hour non-powder moisturizer and deodorant was designed for your butt, balls, and body. Boasting active pH control, anti-chafing, quick absorbing, and made in the beautiful US of A. Head over to manscaped.com and get yourself the Crop Preserver. Your balls will thank you.
The Kemba Walker for Kyrie Irving, yet another example of the sign and trade being brought back to life this year. I mean, it was we basically didn't see them happening for years now because the league rules changed, and now we see a Kemba Walker sign and trade with the as part of the deal for Terry Rozier, Kyrie Irving going out, of course, to the Brooklyn Nets, and so Rozier goes over to the Hornets, and Kemba Walker comes into the Celtics. I think for the Celtics, to me anyway, this is a really nice straight across swap. You've got two guys who are not exactly the same, but at least similar enough to where they can probably use some of the same sets, some of the same plays that they ran for Kyrie. They can also run for Kemba. And if it's me, not to say that Kyrie Irving's a bad dude or anything like that, but he was a little bit of a rain cloud on the team. So I feel like even if Kyrie Irving is the better player, I think Kemba Walker may end up improving the Celtics over Kyrie just based on the attitude and the team culture. I think that's going to make a difference. Is that the general feeling in Boston right now, that even if the talent is somewhat similar, the attitude of Kemba Walker is going to make a bigger difference than whatever gap between them may be?
Yeah, that it's the feeling and the hope, right? That's where everybody wants to see. That's how it plays out. And this has been my standard answer when asked, how are those two guys comparable? And I look at it and say, Kyrie is a better player in a vacuum. If you just compare the two of them straight up, Kyrie is the better player. That's just the reality. He's won more. He's won at a higher level. All these things, and that's no knock on Kemba Walker. It's just Kyrie's one of the, when he's healthy and motivated and playing well, he's one of the maybe 10 best players in the NBA. And Kemba's just a tier below that, which is fine, right? That still means you're a really good player, max player, all those things. But fit matters a lot in the NBA, and Kyrie was not happy. Kyrie is also a very ball dominant guy. So for guys like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, it was harder for them to get touches. That was a lot of what caused the issues in the locker room and even on the floor at times. And Kemba has become a very good off the ball player. That's something Charlotte has done more and more with him over the last few years, where they have brought in other point guards to play alongside him. So he got very used to playing off the ball at times and has become a good spot up player, where Kyrie that's not his game. That's just not what he does, is to do that. And then, as you said, just the overall happiness level, the fact that he wanted to be in Boston badly. He didn't take any other meetings. It was the Celtics. That was it. And I said this in the now lost to the, Star Waves show here is, let's just stop with the tampering nonsense, because obviously there was some tampering going on there, because we knew free agency opened at 6:00 on Sunday night on the East Coast, and we knew sometime Saturday afternoon.
It was like 26 hours before free agency even started. It was out there.
Yeah. So we knew, that's just funny. He just happened to be in Boston. What a surprise!
Random.
That's where he was hanging out. Yeah, because guys are often going from Charlotte to Boston in the summer. Yeah. So just let's stop with all this. Everybody does it. It's nonsense. It's it is what it is. If you're gonna crack down on it for real. If not, just stop. But anyway, back to that. And it was Fran Fraschillo who said, Kemba showing up at the facility every day with a smile on his face and being ready to work is going to make a huge difference to this team, because he really wants to be there. And it was not a happy team. I saw it firsthand last year in Orlando. This was, if you remember, they made the Florida trip, and this was when Marcus Morris shoved Jaylen Brown in the huddle in Miami the night before. Then they played in Orlando the next day, and that's where Kyrie snapped at Gordon Hayward, because Hayward passed to Tatum for the final shot at the buzzer for the game winner instead of going to Kyrie, and all
Heaven
this
forbid.
And Kyrie called everybody out after the game in the locker room, and then yeah, they had their trip to, the West Coast where everything got right and everybody loved each other. That lasted about a month. And, so it's just, I think it's going to make a huge difference. I think the fact that it looks like Kemba and Marcus Smart and Tatum and Brown are loving being around each other with Team USA. It looks like all four of them have made Team USA from, the way things are kind of starting to line up. So I think that's going to help as well, with that. And then I think they'll have that experience, go USA. They'll, hopefully bring home the FIBA World Cup and then come back to Boston, have about a week off and get into it for training camp and ready to go. So I think, overall that's going to make a massive difference. And that's, that's the feeling today. And that's the hope.